Little Black Port Henry, 2.5 years old, blonde, blue top, green shorts. If you'd like to have a look around, you can find him, bring him back to Autojumble Control, please.
The classic car Autojumble at Bewley is really a festival of eccentricity. Even so, some are on the fringes of credibility.
I'm trying to buy a body for my Rolls Royce, and I can't find one. I live in Poland, and I'm trying to restore the car over there. So we just arrived last night, and I'm trying to find a body shell, hoping I can find one here. If I don't find it here, I guess I'm dead.
Humphrey Bogart used to own a Rolls Royce, and for a moment...
Well, I took it there because I couldn't afford to restore it anywhere else, and I got deeper and deeper involved in restoring the car, and now I'm at a point where it's so deteriorated I have to find a body shell. I'm hoping I'll find one here.
No. I've got some 10s at home. Yeah. If you want to go to 10s, there'll be 50 quid. Yeah. You might as well.
John Barlow knows Austin Sevens inside out. Confronted with detail like this, he needs to.
Pinion shaft, lock-in washer, and on the main shaft, and then the small lock-in washer where the flange is on the up the end of the pinion shaft.
No, not unless you can use either that or that would probably be fairly near.
This is the pinion one, I think. That looks
that's for from the camshaft.
Is it? Yeah, well, that one's the size of the small one.
Oh, well, that might do.
And then I'll need a bigger one over the shaft, which is bigger than these. It's bigger than those.
Bigger than those two.
Yeah.
After that, you can only go their rear hub ones,
that's
ideally.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll take that one then.
Right.
And
okay.
As well.
Right.
The blunt request for a Rolls-Royce body is phasing the stall holders. So Bogart tries for the small parts first.
These are little parts and bits and pieces for post-war Mulliner or James Young or any kind of Rolls crank handle, switch for the hood to make it go up and down, a dome light switch, and catches and.
Right now the overcent, I think probably those a lot of them you get from that chappie in the export centre in London. I'm trying to think of his name and I can't. If you can give me a phone number, because there is a place in London who does a lot of post-war, and also the other people to contact is W.A. Price.
Oh yeah,
because they break quite a few.
I have them right here.
W.A. Price. Yeah, I was going to say they break quite a lot.
Okay.
And you might well find.
How about a body shell? Would you have a body shell?
I haven't got a body shell, no.
Okay,
but
for a cloud.
A cloud. Well, that's a cloud, an ordinary standard steel cloud.
Yeah, or a Bentley S1. You know.
Right. Well. Certainly prices would have those.
Okay.
Because they break quite a lot of those.
All right, fine.
And I'm certain that...
For every make, there is an expert. And with advice of the first-time buyer, Classic Car magazine has laid on its club editor, Malcolm Mackay.
I would look first of all at the state of the sills. There's some underseal over here that is flaking off. It may be quite rusty underneath. Again, there's filler in the top of this wing. You look for all the water traps and all the mud traps. Check underneath to make sure that the chassis members are in reasonable condition.
A tatty 1964 Vauxhall Viva might not be everyone's idea of a classic.
It would be a shame if cars like this disappeared completely, because they are part of Britain's motoring heritage. There would be no point in just having all the exotic cars left if we didn't have the standard family cars to compare with them.
A better investment surely is this, the last of the great Rovers, or even an original Mini.
It seems silly to pay £3,500 for an old Mini, doesn't it? But it's very, very nice and very, very original. It all looks as it should be under the bonnet, and all the original features in the interior, which are very nice to see. The original door pulls, the correct seat trim. These early ones were very prone to water leaks into the footwells, and that can rot them out very badly. On the other hand, it's very easy to buy all the necessary panels to repair them, and you can rebuild almost anything nowadays.
Including a 1949 Triumph Roadster that once looked like this one in the auction. But choosing the right wreck to invest in is where the real expertise shows.
Well, this does look a heap, doesn't it? It's Austin Shearline limousine, very nice car in its day, but It's led a very hard life and it's in very poor condition now. This would be almost impossibly expensive to restore. The interior is all leather and it's completely ruined. The dashboard, all the wood has been affected by water and would all have to be completely replaced. A lovely character car, but unbelievably expensive to restore. And body panels will almost certainly be completely unavailable at the moment. A restoration of something like this could only be undertaken by a real enthusiast. If you had it professionally restored, it would probably cost you £30,000 to £40,000, and it would be worth about £5,000 to £10,000.
The key to rebuilds is the ratio of rust to restored value. This is a completely rotten but quite rare 1936 SS Jaguar.
The 1936 SS Jaguar 2.5 litre, lot 40, and I'm start this at £11,000. £11,000 is bid. £11,000 the Jaguar. 11,000. Any advance on £11,000? 11,000. Yes, sir. 12,000. 13,000. 14,000. 15,000. 16,000. 17,000. £17,000 against you. That's 17,000. That's £17,000. Any advance on 17,000? That's £17,000. 18,000. One more. 19,000. 20,000. At £20,000 there then, at £20,000. At £20,000 on my right. At £20,000, you're all done. Last time, but 21,000 on the telephone. Against you now, at 21 on the telephone. 21,000, 22,000. £22 in the room, at £22,000. You're all done for 22. 23,000 she's back, at 23,000, at £23,000 now. Give it one more chance, at 23,000.
Christus were right. Someone else's rust is gold dust.
At £23,000 on the telephone. All at 24,000. £24,000. Hurry you, at £24,000 in the room. Last chance, 24,500. Yes? Is that a bid? 24,500. 24,500 on the telephone now. Make it around 25. No. Last chance, 24,500. 24,500. Round it up for me at 25. At £24,500. £24,500. Absolutely sure, finished at £24,500. All done? Thank you, telephone.
It'll cost £50,000 to restore and probably sell again for 3 times that. At Beaulieu, most people are passionate about one make of car, and sometimes just one model. Even so, with care and patience, the right parts are here, somewhere. But what is the attraction of taking a box of dismantled bits and halting its decline into scrap?
It's a challenge, I think. It's looking like a mechanical puzzle. And well, that's something I'm interested in technical things, and something which I enjoy doing. I suppose you're sort of trying to place yourself in the mentality of the people who thought of the cars or designed them in the first place. Trying to understand, well, why they put things together in the way they did. It's obviously a high quality vehicle, a sort of poor man's Bentley, I suppose. which I can identify myself with, I suppose, rather than with a Bentley.
If a pre-war Rover is a poor man's Bentley, what's an old petrol can and a model railway carriage? Toys, that's what. This is mostly a boy's world, a time warp, where lads who have to play at being men or weak can reverse into lost youth. Classic cars have become a massive subculture of enterprise, enthusiasm and knowledge. And there are bargains still to be had. This, believe it or not, is one. An extremely rare Railton Terraplane, smashed beyond recognition. It was auctioned for £2,200. When restored, it will fill a small but important missing link in the often neglected history of technology.
If this was the paintwork on your vehicle, I think just at once you'd be a little bit worried about it. Because the worst enemy of any paintwork, as you know, is the heat from the sun. That is what oxidizes your paintwork, causes it to fade, otherwise known as a bloom. Take a hot painted surface, cool it down rapidly with cold water. Anybody out there in the trade will tell you you'd expect that to blister, to bubble, to crack and to start peeling off. Sir, without burning your hands, put your hand onto where I've set light to that, please, and tell me if it's still quite hot, yes?